Hi, I'm just gonna go on the record here just for me, I guess. Like, I don't expect anybody to hear me out, especially in this click and go move. But I just want to I don't understand how anybody can take news at face value anymore, because if a news station like Fox News is going to report on something and present it as fact and with confidence and certainty and authority in their tone, and they're going to present something as fact of somebody's unaliving, they better damn well show their fucking sources. Otherwise, it's just fucking hearsay. I don't trust any news that calls itself news or fact that doesn't show the sources or logs. And especially, this is what made me want to fucking speak out about this, is because it really fucking bothers me, mostly because you should not ever talk about somebody that cannot defend themselves and present their story as fact, closing their chapter without consent. Amy Catherine Eskridge, born 1987, died June 11th, 2022, age 34, was found dead in Huntsville, Alabama, with a pew-pew wound to the head, ruled as self-inflicted wound. And what fucking infuriates me is this. There's no publicly released official documents being behind any of that ruling. And, all of this, all of the traces of the word I cannot say when you cause your own passing, self-inflicted passing to the afterlife. We all know what the word is. We can't say it here. Now, Fox News reported her death was self-inflicted from a pew-pew wound, but there's no official details have been publicly released. So the word that we cannot say here when you take one's life is that label circulating everywhere about her, about Amy, everywhere. That it traces back to a single Fox News report. And nobody has located the source documents. No coroner's report, nope. No Madison County Medical Examiner filing, no, not that. No Huntsville PD incident report, nope. The ruling is being cited as established fact, but it is sourceless on the public record. But what is on the record is this. Within 1 hour and 45 minutes of her being found, cause of death was called the word we cannot say when you take your own life. That timeline is extremely abnormal, to say the least. And not just by my basis. I've worked at funeral homes. I've worked in emergency services. I've worked as 911 dispatcher. I've worked in healthcare. And even if you die from natural causes, that is extremely, if you're not on hospice, that's an extremely weird close and shut case to call that word. And it's just an abnormal timeline. And again, not on my own basis. This has been noted by multiple researchers. So it's just a pattern. There's a pattern. And Huntsville, Alabama, the second person that died there was LeBlanc, 29-year-old NASA aerospace electrical engineer working with nuclear propulsion systems. They're all tied to nuclear propulsion, or they're journalists, or scientists in stated anti-gravity. But yeah, LeBlanc, 29 years old, he just vanished from his house, left all his belongings. He was found dead burned, incinerated in a Tesla after it struck a guardrail. That was in July 22, 2025. I think electric vehicles, Teslas, are the least likely to start on fire. I understand lithium batteries, but the Tesla's being incinerated thing. These aren't just, people want to call them delusional crackpots. Well, they do Amy. They want to call her all these terrible things when she can't defend herself. All these voices that want to call her self-inflicted, she did this to herself, she's delusional, she's conspiracy theorist. Where were those voices when she was speaking up? They didn't want to confront her when she was speaking, but now that she can't speak for herself, they're going to label her for something she was adamant about not doing to herself. This is documented. She texted her business partner, Samuel Reed, not just a friend, approximately 1 month before her death. Quote, "If you see any report that I killed myself, I most definitely did not." Unquote. That is not a person in crisis. That is not a person in crisis messaging just someone randomly. That is not somebody with a cardboard with Sharpie written all over it, aliens are coming, and, screaming at cars. This is somebody that is been hired by, tops, security clearance and NASA and all that stuff these people are tied to. They're not crackpots, people. That is a person who knew something was coming, and she left a receipt. She wanted her head to roll in front of the public for speaking rather than have her house, incinerated and never make the news. This is also documented. The CIA FOIA tracking number is F-2023-01755. That is real. That has been filed. But what has returned from that, whether it was processed, denied, or stalled, that is not publicly available either. But what is not being reported, where there is no record, that is a data point in itself. The omission is starting to become the verdict. There is a pattern here. When these people are going missing, or they are found dead, or, they get their patents bought out, and their prototypes are patented and then scrapped and never used again. Hypothetically speaking, if there was an energy source that could benefit humanity, it would not benefit the 1% that controls the 99% and has more money than the whole world. It would not benefit them. They would not want that to be outwardly known. So it just bothers me for anybody to provide a claim. To me, that is defamation in a way, slander in a way. You are saying that somebody harmed themselves that was adamant about not doing so, made it known, and we're not, and they're just attacking her character after the fact, What a weak society we have. What? Don't take, quote unquote, your news stations at face value. Literally. At this point, whatever they say is probably the opposite. Or a distraction. I'm not saying grab tinfoil and put it on your head, but I'm also not telling you not to do that. Do it or don't at this point. Fuck it. Moral of the story, if you have technology and you're aware of it and you're intelligent and tinkering, good for you. Don't tell anybody. Don't, for the love of God, do never tell the government. And also, don't patent it. Circulate that shit, leak it anonymously. Remember those that passed away not for how they did, not for the way they said they did, for what they did, for their brilliance, for their innovation. RIP, there's over 100 years of suppression.